Hello, I'm Amber Uper, and this is a model kit review. And for this review, we have a real gem of a model. This is a lovely vintage model. It's Monogram Quality Hobby Kits, co-labeled by Mattel. And this is a 1/72nd scale kit of the Dornier DO 17. And this is the DO-17Z model. This airplane was an early World War II German bomber and reconnaissance plane. And let's see. You can tell by the box that this thing is old. I don't know if this is a reissue, but it says here on the side of the box, copyright 1968 Monogram Models, Inc. So it may very well be a very old model kit that was well kept. And this came from the vintage and used model kit market on eBay. So let's take a look at what's inside the model here, or what's inside the box, I should say. Okay, so we have the instructions, and then we have the decals. And yes, you can tell by those things there that this is a vintage kit, because back in the day they still put those on for the tail symbols, and they don't put those on decals anymore. You have to actually buy them separately from somebody that makes decals. And you can tell this is a bit yellowed. So yeah, this is fairly old, but they look like they could still be usable. So let's put them over there. And we'll put the model off to the side for a minute. Let's look at the instructions. So here is the face of the instructions. This is a basic description of the plane. And then let's see where we start. Is this a book or a folder? It's all a foldout. Okay. So where is number one? All right. So here's number one, the start of the assembly. And it's also, the back side of that is the painting instructions. We'll get to that. So here's the body. This being 1/72nd scale, there's room inside for details in the cockpit. So it looks like you got a cockpit floor and the seats that go in there. And a front, that's probably the instrument panel. This looks like the decal for the instrument cluster, which is on the decal sheet. Alright, so we'll go to step 2. We gotta do this. Step 2, assembling the tail wing with its dual tail. And then step 3, we get into assembling the landing gear and the engines into the cowlings on the bottom of the wing. And I don't know where the wing assembly went. It's not here in step 1, so that's kind of an oddity. Maybe they just guessed that you'll figure out how to do the wing. Let's see, number 4, assembling the canopy and the nose glass. And here's your rear canopy and the machine gun, the defensive machine gun, a couple other parts there. And then you've got, well, it looks like there's 4 figures that go into the canopy, or to go into the cockpit area. And you've got a little machine gun that sticks out the front, a couple more machine guns to go in the back. This is actually the underside, now that I see it. This is the machine gun that pokes out the bottom, facing backwards, in case of attack from lower behind. So there's that, and instructions for assembly. Let's see, what does it say here? Does it say anything about putting the wings together? Doesn't really say. It's like they skipped a step. I don't know. But there it is. Okay. So, and then here is your painting instructions for the camouflage pattern of the like 1939, 1940, when these planes were in heavy use. So there's your instructions. All right, what's in the kit? Let's put the box over here, and we'll start with one sprue at a time. There's your stand. And here's the tail, the horizontal tail wing. Here's your vertical tail surfaces. I'm not sure what these are. Parts. Probably parts for the pitot tube or whatever on the wings. That looks like a, what do they call that thing? The thing that you use to fly the plane with. Anyway. And here's another part for inside the cockpit. A flight stick, that's what that is. These had a wheel, a semi-wheel that you flew them with. Okay, so there's that. Here's the bottom of the wing bottoms. And where your landing gear struts would go. You might be able to build this wheels down or wheels up. I think it might talk about that in the instructions, because there was some information here. Let's see what the instructions say. Landing gear note. Your model may be built in one of two ways. Landing gear down or landing gear retracted. Okay. And then little bits of instructions to tell you how. So there's the lower half of the wings with the engine cowlings and landing gear area. So then we have the body halves here. And obviously this wing is a top body wing. Here's your 4 crew members. This looks like the foot pedals for the pilot. Maybe I can get that closer so you can see it. I have to see if I can get it to focus. And all your defensive machine guns are here. Here's your engine cowlings. There's not a lot of detail in the engines. They're just in the cowlings. These look like landing wheel skirts. And you have 3 seats here. There's probably a 4th one floating loose in the box somewhere. Okay. Here's your upper wing part. Your landing wheels. These are 2 halves for each wheel. This is the rod that goes on the stand. Here's your landing gear struts. I think these are part of those struts here. Like the braces for the struts. So there's that. A couple extra little parts, detail parts that I'm sure the instructions will tell you where they go. Here's your glass. Plastic, clear plastic. These are always really hard to show because you can't really get the detail definition because it's clear plastic. So there's that. You got an upper canopy, the nose, the lower glass that faces rearward, and another piece of canopy that's, I believe, is that on the lower? I think that's the lower nose behind the nose glass. Okay, what's in the box? In the box we have 2 propellers. Here is the instrument cluster panel. There's a seat. There's another, not sure what that is. I have to look in the instructions to figure that out. And just a piece of sprue. So let's look at what those are if the instructions show them. Now let's see. Well, there's your flight stick. I don't see them on here in the canopy or in the cockpit area, so they must be for something else. And I'm just not sure what else they would be for, because I'm not seeing them on here. Well, it's a mystery. Oh, is that them there? Yeah, that's them there. Okay. They go in the horizontal tail wing. Those might be the aileron, or whatever they call these things, stabilizers. Old planes had those. So I bet you that's what that is. So anyway, here's all the parts that we have for this lovely airplane in 1/72nd scale. The famous DO-17. This is the Z version, or the Z version, I guess you could say, depending on how you pronounce it. The instructions, your decals, and this lovely box which has all the vintage artwork on it. So, that is my model kit review for the Monogram 1/72nd scale Dornier DO-17Z, the flying pencil. Thanks for watching.